Hey folks, good evening. Look, if you're not 21, see ya. This ain't for you. If you're new to the channel, please like and subscribe. The comments below, all the good stuff, you know what to do. So it is New Year's Eve. I'm going to show you a couple of New Year's Eve cocktails and also some cocktails that can lend themselves really well for a New Year's Day brunch. So we're going to start with my take on a Greyhound, which you're going to juice a grapefruit. Now I took a little bit of the skin off to use as a garnish. Now you could use a juicer, but why dirty something when you don't have to? If you want to be super fancy, you could get a muddler, but again, why make something dirty when you don't have to? So that's one and two. Now you could use lemon, you could use lime. That's a question I get a lot from people. Is like, well, if I don't have one, can I use the other? Sure, why not? And then I'm going to use half a lemon. Don't worry about the seeds, you're going to strain it out anyway. Okay. And for that we use vodka. Beautiful. Shake. All right, now strain the rice. Now don't worry if it comes up a little short, because you're going to top it off. You could use club soda, you use sparkling water, you could even use ginger ale if you wanted. So there's your Greyhound. A nice grapefruit twist. That's just going to have all the nice oils in it. So that's one cocktail. Going to kind of rinse, lather, and repeat. But this time, we're going to use the same thing. Lemon juice. So this is a variation of a, back in my day when I used to bartend, this is a variation on one of the margaritas that we used to make. Instead of grapefruit, we're going to go with orange. Oh, it smells wonderful. So we got orange. This one we're going to get a little messy with, because for some reason all the segments came out. Alright, so there's your juice. Cleanliness is next to godliness. And we're going to go with some Cointreau, do a small side. Again, it's very similar to a margarita. Now again, you know, when I first started doing this, I called the rock out because he was talking about fresh juices and he was opening bottles. Fresh has to be hand squeezed. If it's not hand squeezed, it's not fresh. All right, so we used a little bit of mezcal. Could use tequila, whatever you got on hand. Let's get this one wiped down real quick. Same deal, shake. Now this would be good just on its own. Now I called out the rock for not using fresh juices, but now I gotta penalize myself for a little gimmick infringement, because now we're going to steal a line from Le Champion, Chris Jericho. We're going to top this with a little bit of the bubbly. There you go. So those two drinks lend themselves really well to a New Year's brunch. Going to top that little bit of a orange twist. Now, technically speaking, because I know somebody's going to call me out and say, well, you're not using champagne, you're using Prosecco. Yeah, I know. It's what I got on hand. If you have champagne, use champagne. Technically speaking, in order for it to be called champagne, it's got to come from the Champagne region of France. Now, my last two drinks here, this is going to be for New Year's Eve, and I want the lovely bubbles. So one, real simple, if you have Saint Germain elderflower liqueur, a lot of people have this on hand, but they don't necessarily know what to do with it. So a little bit in the champagne glass, in your champagne flute. So that's one. Now this one I outdid myself. I made a little bit of pomegranate simple syrup. Simple syrup in itself for cocktails helps balance a drink. If you've ever been out to dinner and you ordered a drink and you take a sip of that cocktail and you just go, ah! The bartender didn't do you any favors. If it's too strong, the flavors of the cocktail aren't going to play out. Simple syrup is a good way to kind of balance out that burny feeling. Gives you a little bit of body to a drink. So to make simple syrup, 1 cup water, 1 cup sugar. What I did here was I had some pre-existing simple syrup, but I made pomegranate syrup with fresh pomegranates. So for this, what we're going to do, a little bit in the glass. Not too much. And just look how pretty that's going to be. Right over the top like that. Right over the top like that. You want to be a little extra, just a little bit over the top. Beautiful. So there you go. We got 4 cocktails for you. Pomegranate champagne, elderflower float, New Year's Greyhound, and a New Year's margarita. Folks, everybody have a wonderful, happy New Year's. Please drink responsibly, all that good stuff. See you in the new year. Have a good one.